different.
I couldn't think of anything clever to say. That's a problem.
Okay, we're on YouTube. We're on Facebook.
We're on Facebook.
Right.
Let's see.
Now it's...
I don't see the Theory Thursday on Facebook. Okay, it's ready to go.
All right.
There you go. My volume's okay.
Add to timeline.
Oh, you could do that. Share now public. Yeah, either way. Yeah, I'd say add to timeline. I should have done that. Maybe that's.
Okay. So this should be sort of going on my Facebook, should it now? Sorry, I haven't done one of these before, so I don't know what I'm doing.
Guten Abend, ist es Donnerstag und Sie alle wissen, was das bedeutet?
Yeah. Hey man, which camera? Is it you or is it you? Is it this one?
It's both.
Check this out. Check this out. What you got, man?
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
To hear from you. You've been gone for almost 100 days, and now I know that nothing else could be more true. And now to save face, I'm telling my friends I've left you. You burned my heart a billion ways. It's all loose ends and nothing's true. You must be suffering from amnesia. Forgetting all that blood that tears try to please her. And now I know I just got to bring out. Can't compete with that. didn't know when to say stop, but I couldn't let my mind drop. I didn't know when to say stop, but I couldn't let my mind drop. You must be suffering from amnesia. Forgetting all that blood and tears trying to please her. And now I know I just got to break out. Forgetting all those things out your big mouth. And now you're back again. You're someone I don't recognize. You've been calling all my friends. You're coming on no worldly wide. I'm feeling so cold. You burn my heart to million ways. Gonna push myself to move on before I get too old. You must be suffering from amnesia. Forgetting all that blood and tears trying to please her. And now I know I just got to break up. Cause I just can't compete with that big mom. You must be suffering. You must be suffering. You must be suffering from amnesia. You must be suffering. She's gotta be. You must be suffering. She's gotta be. You must be suffering. She's gotta be. I didn't know when to say you must be suffering. Gotta be. You must be suffering. She's gotta be. You must be suffering. She's gotta be. I didn't know when to say you must be suffering. She's gotta be. You must be suffering. She's gotta be. You must be suffering from gotta be. I didn't know when to say stop. You must be suffering. Gotta be. You must be suffering. She's gotta be. You must be suffering. She's gotta be. I didn't know when to say stop. You must be suffering. She's gotta be. You must be suffering. She's gotta be. You must be suffering. She's gotta be. I didn't know when to say stop.
What hells yeah! Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm MikeRuggirello, your host, right here at Theory Thursday. We got Jason Thomas right here, the co-host. Say a few words, buddy.
Hey everybody, thank you for watching. So excited tonight. It's a really good show. Want to first thank our sponsor, Singular Sound Beat Buddy, Kurt Mangan Strings, Mad Hatter Guitar Products, Iconic Guitars. It's a Taylor class. T5 Rumble.
It's a T5 Rumble.
T5 Rumble today. And also want to thank Guitar Tune Up San Diego. And did I forget anybody? I got Kurt Mangan. I got everybody. I think so. All right. Didn't forget anybody. Oh, SWR Video Production, Mr. Cthulhu in Chief. Also, a reminder, everybody, to go to our website, TheoryThursday.com. We're selling Beat Buddies. We're selling strings. We have, we're an authorized Iconic guitar dealer, so look into that. That's TheoryThursday.com. And if you want to buy a Beat Buddy, put in the promo code Theory10. You'll get 10% off your purchase. And be one of our patrons if you can.
Well said.
I'll try to.
So
And-
just, yeah, I know. Great show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We are so proud to introduce a magnificent musician right here. He comes from Great Britain, and he's been out here a long time, and he is a multi-instrumentalist, singer-songwriter, also has 1 million views on his Spotify, Mr. Jonny Tarr, man. Yeah.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, yeah.
Man, you sound great. This whole looping thing going on with the pedals and this funky surf green T5. Man, we got a lot to talk about tonight, bro.
All right. Well, I'm all ears and I'm all yours. So yeah,
Well,
let's
thank
do
you.
it.
First and foremost, isn't he match well?
He's got the Toronto Blue Jays hat.
Yeah.
That's cool. You know?
If we're not going to talk hair, we're going to talk some fashion. I'm very sensitive to color coordination. The guitar and the shoes, you're looking great, dude. You're really looking great. It's
and the boxer shorts actually match the shoes as well.
Oh, sorry.
you know,
Exactly.
We won't get that far tonight. Maybe we'll.
but you know, let's talk about the guitar in a minute. I just want to clue in the audience here that Jason Thomas and I, we've seen Jonny perform a few times. Jason's band Manganista has had a gig with them at the Music Box, and that's when I first saw Jonny Tarr. It was great, blown away. You
Blown
know,
away.
Very soulful. He was playing piano then. So Jonny plays great piano, great chops there. Also saxophone. As you can see, some Beat Buddy bombasticness. Right?
Are you ham boning? You going for some ham bone right there? That's a Theory Thursday first.
Anyhow, let's talk about this guitar, man. This is the T5 Taylor Rumble. I'm pretty sure are we on the Taylor feed right now? If we are, say hello to us, give us a thumbs up, talk about this T5 because Mr. Jonny Tarr's got a few things to say about it, man. I see some good discretion. You've been playing this thing.
I have, yeah. I've played this like maybe 3-4 gigs a week for about 5, nearly 6 years. It's been like, it's really pretty and kind of delicate, but it's just been a workhorse as well. It's just like, I've never had any problems with it whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a great
I'm
guitar.
a little warm. Are you warm?
I'm a bit warm, but I quite like being warm.
It's
Do
nice and
you?
cool back here.
He's got the AC
Could you
back
adjust?
I'm good, and I'm
It's kind of, I gotta move the
I can.
camera.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, man.
It's a
How many
horrible
gigs we played
position.
sweating out? It's sweating out. Beginning of summer, man.
Well, I mean,
School's
out.
out.
Part of
School's
the
out
perk.
for summer.
But part
It's
of
the
the perk
summertime.
of being on Theory Thursday, you know, we do have
You
a
should
reputation
be comfortable.
now.
You're right. but
Our
it is-
guests are very comfortable.
for the most
It
part.
should be good.
That feels really good.
All right,
There you go.
good.
Thank
I'm
you.
here, but it's not getting Johnny.
So we got the prima donnas.
So Johnny, this is a really cool color. This looks surf
like it.
green, but I know it's not surf green. It has like a pewter.
I believe
metallic.
because I got it at the factory over in it's El Cajon,
El
right?
Cajon.
Yeah, El Cajon. I got it over the factory, and I believe the color is sage.
Sage.
That's what they call it, sage. Yeah.
Are you friends with Jay Parkin like we are?
I've met Jay once. I've spoken to him a few times.
Yeah, what's
on,
up, Jay?
On email. He put a couple of one of my videos up on the Taylor Facebook page once.
He's
met
obviously-
him at NAMM this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You had a
Cool.
nice conversation with Jay this year now.
Oh yeah. I talked to him at NAMM for a while.
I got to. He put one of those super duper. Is it they call V
class.
The
Right, he
V-class.
put one of them in my hands and went,
Yeah.
right, go play that in the corner for a bit.
Yeah.
Get used to it because it's not like any other guitar you've
Yeah.
played.
What'd you think of that?
It was too good for the likes of me.
No.
One of those are too good for the
I
likes
don't
of me.
mean to interrupt you, Johnny, but would you mind?
Silencing it.
So,
Just turn it
interestingly
down,
enough-
Sorry, this is my first Facebook Live experience.
There you go.
Oh well, welcome to
Welcome
the
to
club.
the live
There you
show.
go,
You're
there you go.
you're performing without a net, and everyone can see you. So there you
Yeah.
go. No pressure.
It's all right. I'm all right with that.
So 5-6 years on this instrument.
Yeah.
Kick ass, man. I know I've played these before. These are like a hybrid guitar.
They are very much so. I don't think I'm pretty sure there's nobody makes a guitar like them really because they've got humbuckers and acoustic pickups, and I believe there's a microphone in there
Yeah,
somewhere
it's
as
pies- I
well.
think
So
it's pi-
Yeah, and we have a channel, or not a channel, but a pickup selector. Are you fond of a certain 1 through 5?
this one here.
That's
center.
that's the
That's
bomb
the one there. Yeah.
Can
This
we-
one's a bit leady for me.
Is that
But
the
we could-
lipstick? Is that the
Show our
the-
audience. Play a chord or a lick. Do
All
some
right,
moves.
So
Mr. Jonny Tarr a la carte, ladies and gentlemen. This is actually really handy for my. Ow. Nice.
it's like
Was that? I know that one.
yeah.
freak chic?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's chic. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, baby. A, and then E. Well, good times, right?
Exactly.
Sounds wonderful.
I use that in loads of stuff. Like that whole Nile Rodgers movement that happened when the Daft Punk album came out, and you realise like He was on everything. Like he made all the early Madonna records listenable. Do you know what I mean? Like really, I go back and listen to that stuff.
David Bowie, Let's Dance.
I go back to that stuff so often now. You know.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. Actually. One of my all-time
Animal.
heroes.
Yeah, total animal. So yeah, that's how that one sounds. Just the kind of more slightly more sparkly. That's the fourth position. There's the.
Ooh.
That's your leady one.
That's some spike.
Somewhere in between, and this is supposed to be like the acoustic setting, but you kind of mess with the. You get this thing in the guitar box when it comes saying, if you want to use this setting, then set your bass and treble to this to get the best out of it, that kind of thing. And I'm not much of a guitar aficionado, in all honesty. It's like a tool for me, but. Yeah, I mean, it's made.
Well, you got a very versatile one.
Yeah, exactly. I'll do my rhythm parts here, and then when I switch to wanting to do a bass line, I'll switch to that one, and it just comes out more punchy and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I am constantly messing with that during a gig.
So that's a nice segue to our pedal selection down here. You're obviously using the Boss Super Octave OC3. I'm a big fan of that. I like the poly settings, but you're not using the poly settings. You have it completely off, like an OC2 setting.
Well,
fantastic though.
All I really want is
a clean bass.
It's just a really solid bass, and I sometimes put a bit of the second octave on there, but because like my sets when I do solo stuff is really bass line heavy, it can be a bit much. So I just tend to stick to. Sometimes use the drive on it a little bit, but it depends from song to song really.
Digging it.
Yeah.
I'm so digging on the fab tone, the fab distortion. What a neat little throwback Dan Electro preamp. You obviously are fond of that tone, that particular frequency.
Yeah, I mean it's every time I step on that, it does something different. That's what I quite like about it.
Can we hear it?
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh boy, that sounds like you. Oh, that's good. That chord a couple times tonight. I like it.
It's quite nice. I don't use it for much because I don't do a lot of lead stuff, and I certainly don't do a lot of rhythm stuff with that noise. You know what I mean? Every now and again.
How fun, dude! Yeah. That's a nice auxiliary selection down there. You got the dynamic wah.
Yeah, I originally bought that to do like a load of Sanborn stuff on my saxophone. You know, he did like loads of like wah saxophone, and I didn't really want to have something I was messing with, and it was just like it's an auto wah. It's an envelope filter basically.
Oh, is that? And that's for the sax.
Well, that's what I originally bought it for, but now I use it for the guitar, just doing like those little like.
Oh. Mr. Jonny Tarr, ladies and gentlemen.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, give it some, man.
Let's see.
I love looping artists. Such a talent.
Yeah, because you only have to do something once, and it's there, isn't it?
Well, but being cognitive of like a bass line, a rhythm guitar, a melody, and creatively adjusting to that, changing to that throughout the years. You said earlier, we were having a conversation about looping. He's been looping for over 12 years.
Yeah.
Jason Thomas, I think Jason and I, maybe a little bit longer. We love looping. Looping is such a great tool for you guys to help. Even when people come over here and take lessons, when we're describing something, a chord progression, and we loop it, the freedom to practice your scales.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the best thing.
And songwriting
without a doubt. Because I'm kind of like, I don't have a very long attention span, so sitting down and that's why I never really became a full-on jazz sax player, because the amount of practice and man hours need to put in, it's like I just didn't have. So when I discovered looping and realized that it all kind of like fed itself, and I could like, I'm going to work on this little bit and that's still going to be going, and it's just kind of making me enjoy it, and then I work on that now. And so because I got to gig so much just doing this, like my sax playing's improved because of looping, my guitar playing's improved because of looping, because I just didn't have the attention span to sit down and just like note for note do scales. So
what a neat
been
benefit
brilliant.
or byproduct of that.
No, it's been brilliant for me. Like,
could you do that again from the ground up? It's so exciting, especially the beatboxing part. The beatboxing part's Really digging, man. I'm like, we're gonna ask him a few questions about maybe some inspiration on that. But check this bit out.
All right, new tune or same tune or
Whatever you
should we
want,
do something
man.
else? All right, this is going to be a Bill Withers tune, which you'll be able to join in on, Jason, because it's got like just a very repetitive bass line.
Okay.
Oh man.
So the bass line does this. It just goes. It's in A minor. Goes. And then a bit of that.
Oh man. Oh. Yeah.
A man we passed just tried to stare me down. And when I looked at you, you looked at the ground. I don't know who he is, but I think that you do. That comment, who is he and what is he to you?
Just add a little bit every chorus.
Something in my heart and in your eyes tells me he's not someone just passing by. When you cleared your throat, was that your cue? That comment, who is he and what is he to you?
Why don't you take a little bit, Mike?
And when I add the sum of you and me, I get confused, 'cause I keep coming up with three. You're too much for one man, but you're not enough for two. Hey, that comment, who is he? What is he to you? Well, is that what you really think, girl? Or are you wishing? Before I wreck my own home, search out another new. Hey, who is he? What is he to you? Who is he? And what is he to you? Who is he? What is he to you? Who is he and what is he to you?
Man, that was slamming me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So much
So
fun.
yeah, that's what I do on a daily basis. Basically, my bread and butter gigs are solo gigs like this, where I'll do three, 4 a week sometimes. You know, band gig at the end of the week, corporate gig with a
Here
you know,
in San Diego?
Yeah, mostly in San Diego. The occasional LA, Vegas, San Francisco, very occasionally.
Yeah.
Mexico, I play down there quite a bit.
That's still technically San Diego.
But technically, yeah, right, yeah. So Baja, yeah, it's still
Or
Cali,
Baja.
yeah. So yeah, this is. So I'm lucky enough to basically I get to practice this 3 hours, four, sometimes 5 times a week, just playing this and working on new ways of making the looping interesting. You know,
It
So,
shows.
Yeah.
For sure.
You are
the proof
doing-
is in the pudding. as they
You're
say.
doing a great job.
Thank
man.
you, mate.
Yeah.
Very exciting. I mean,
Well, that's how I first noticed. After I saw you play the first time, I watched a lot of your videos and doing all that
Oh,
stuff
okay,
too.
right, yeah.
So it's really cool, man. That's why I was like, I gotta friend this guy. I gotta see what this guy's all about, you know. And
Yeah, and when I first got here and it was going to be just me and a loop pedal and guitar, I was just using it because this is 3 loop pedals in series, right?
Yeah,
This particular one, I just had one to start with. But when I got this one, it opened up the possibility of doing all my tunes, which I was talking to Mike about earlier, which have horns,
Yeah.
bass lines, keyboards, all the rest of it. It opened the possibility of going, right, well, I can do verses and choruses. I can also add horns when they're needed. I can drop them in and out. And, you know, I was able to start thinking about doing my own music again, which I hadn't for a long time because it can be painful, as you know, if you write music and can take a lot out of you, you know.
I like how you have a little
Nano.
nano auxiliary.
That's
It's like just chilling, going into the aux in, Jason.
Oh.
Just in case if he wants to throw in.
That can have some interesting applications. Yeah, like if I wanted to take a break out of a tune that I particularly like, I can just loop it and have that break, you know,
Brilliant.
kind of hip hop DJ style and make something over the top. Or it's just for good entertaining people while I'm having a break.
you gotta go through, record the whole thing and slam it back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just stick it there, stuck it on, yeah.
Honestly, I really enjoyed the sax harmony. That was
Right,
That
okay.
was digging. Can you talk about that?
Okay, well, I do harmonies a couple of different ways on here. My harmony pedal here, that listens to the chords the guitar's putting through it and gives you those harmonies. However, if I was to just do it with the sax, because I balance the harmonies to be about half, maybe 2/3 of what I'm
the
singing.
mix, yeah.
When I want to play a full 3-part horn harmony, I'd have to reach down there, tweak the levels. So there's that. And also, once you put a guitar down and you're not playing the guitar through it, it starts to wander because it doesn't know where you are. So you're not getting really like crisp harmonies. So whenever I do sax harmonies, I always layer them up one by one.
On the loop.
I'll do them on a loop. Yeah, I'll do them one by one. So, and I think that, you know, having the backing vocals is a more kind of instantaneous thing that comes in and out of the song. But when I'm looping and pull the sax out, usually the first time I pick up the sax during any gig that I'm doing, I get a bit of a cheer. Because people are like, oh, wicked, we're waiting for you to do that, you know. So to make a feature of it by layering them up in front of people is kind of like, right, that's how he's doing that particular element. And then to be able to drop it out, like I was talking to Mike about, the first music I really kind of became passionate about, which is kind of nerdy, was big band jazz, like 40s big band jazz, Glenn Miller, Benny King, you know, Gene Krupa Orchestra, Count Basie, that kind of stuff I was banging into. So jazz solos in a big band have backings from the rest of the band. So like making the backings and then dropping them out, and I'm just playing a solo on its own, bringing the backings in later behind the solo.
Yeah.
It's like, oh right, it's lifted it again, and that's like quite a big part of my sort of music heritage, I guess, which I'm trying I'm trying to slip in there a little bit, you know.
That's awesome.
And I'm also a big fan of the Motown review bands, Marvin Gaye's big live band and all that, like with the horn section. Like horn sections they make everything better, man. You know what I mean? It's
Sucker
like
for a horn section.
How
Yeah.
about that melody on Amnesia?
The cadence.
The cadence. I think that's a good segue since you said that. Since to demonstrate your influences, can we talk about that song?
Mm-hmm.
And is that the song that has those fantastic numbers?
No, it's
a
not.
Different song?
No, it's not that one. The one that's having really good.
You keep doing that.
Oh, was that me?
It keeps biting me.
Does it? Yeah, don't do that because it will bite you. I've trained it.
Yeah.
So, the song that actually has got quite a lot of plays. I recorded with a quite influential sort of hip hop and breaks, I guess you'd call them, duo back in London called the Next Men. And I just they wrote the beat, I wrote the vocals and the melody, and I also did the horn sections on it. But that's the one that's had the most play because they're actually really, really well known back home. They're really big back home. So I kind of got those million plays on account of working with them. You know what I mean?
It's a team up.
Yeah.
So I've seen that on iTunes too. That's available with featuring Jonny Tarr.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's called Rockets. But the title has literally nothing to do with the subject matter of the
that's kind
of the song.
Well, then can we talk about the vocal cadence of Amnesia?
I mean, okay, right. So that I added an extra vowel. I actually in the American pronunciation I added two because you'd say amnesia. Wouldn't you?
Amnesia.
A British person would say amnesia.
Amnesia.
A British person would say amnesia. But
Amnesia.
I wrote in the song amnesia. So five
I think it's
consonants.
so cool.
And I just literally did that poetic license because it fit with the beat best. That was it.
Done that many times. Just stretch out a syllable, add another one in there.
Absolutely.
Let's plug that song right now.
What's like it's okay.
What like what?
Oh no, I was saying like its pronunciations are fun. I'm interested in that.
Yeah, exactly.
Sound of language.
I want to plug that
things,
song a little bit because we do have some faithful, very curious viewers. And
I've been having so much
fun. I imagine they're very impressed with you this evening. So, Amnesia.
Amnesia, yeah. Just stick an A in the middle.
Either on iTunes or Spotify.
On Spotify. Do you know what? It's actually that song is actually on both my album as one version and then the EP that came later, which I wrote after I'd moved here. But they're both very different, like groove-wise. The first one is quite like this big sort of synth disco tune, and the other one is more like straight ahead, funky, beaty, hip-hoppy tune.
Well, which version do you play live?
The version I play live is the second one from the EP, and it's actually technically called
the West Coast
Amnesia West Coast version.
The West Coast version.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Which is a tribute to one of my favorite artists, this guy called Lewis Taylor, who wrote a tune called Love Light, which I think might be my favorite song ever. And then he wrote another version called Love Light West Coast version. So I'm living on the West Coast now, so I decided that was the Amnesia West Coast version.
Little shout out, little homage.
Oh yeah. Oh, this guy is truly amazing. Like, yeah, just Lewis Taylor, check him out.
Very good.
I will for sure.
Let's hear Amnesia from the ground up.
From the ground up. Okay, mate, you got it.
Check it out, y'all. Hey, well, actually, hold on a second. Let's do this jam without the lights.
Okay.
After you, Jason.
That's just easier.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's a clapper.
Should I make it a little bit hyper? Does it matter? No, just leave it alone. Yeah.
It looks good. That's mood lighting.
All right.
Mr. Jonny Tarr, everybody. Oh, here it goes.
from you. You've been gone for almost 100 days, and now I know that nothing else could be more true. And now to save face, telling my friends I've left you. You burn my heart to billion ways. It's all loose ends and nothing's true. You must be suffering from amnesia. Oh, 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 oh. Forgetting all that blood and tears trying to please her. Oh, oh, oh. And now I know I just got to break out. Cause I just can't compete with that big mouth. I didn't know when to say stop, but I couldn't let my mind off. I couldn't take to say stop, but I couldn't let my mind off. You must be suffering from amnesia. Oh, 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 oh. Forgetting all that blood and tears trying to please her. Oh, 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 oh. And now I know I just got to break out. Oh, 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 oh. Cause I just can't compete with that big mouth. Oh, 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 oh. Well, now you're back again. You're someone I don't recognize. You've been calling all my friends. You're coming on no wealthy wine. I'm feeling so cold. You build my heart to build your ways. You better push myself to move on before I get too old. You must be suffering from amnesia. Oh, 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 oh. Forgetting all that blood and tears trying to please her. Oh, oh, oh. And now I know I just got to break out. Oh, oh, oh. I just can't compete with that big mouth. Oh, 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 oh. She must be suffering. She must be suffering. She must be suffering from amnesia. She must be suffering. She must be suffering. She must be suffering from amnesia.
Know when to say
She must
stop.
be suffering. Gotta be. She must be suffering. She's gotta be. She must be suffering. She's gotta be.
Know when to say
She must be
stop.
suffering. She's gotta be. She must be suffering. She's gotta be. She must be suffering. She's gotta be.
Know when to say
She must
stop.
be suffering. She's gotta be. She must be suffering. Gotta be. She must be suffering. She's gotta be.
Know when to say
She must be
stop.
suffering. She's gotta be. She must be suffering. She's gotta be. She must be suffering from amnesia.
Know when to say stop.
That was awesome.
Man.
Couldn't help but join in on the vocals on that one.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that what that was?
She must be suffering.
You got a great
That's the
voice.
bit. That's the bit, mate. That is, yeah,
She
yeah.
must be suffering.
Johnny Tarr and Jason Thomas at the same time singing. Man, imagine that. Only right here on Theory Thursday.
Had to do it. Had to
You
do it.
love that chord.
Oh, that one. I stick that in loads of things.
That-
But I mean, it's just that shape I like actually because they're all different, totally different chords.
So does that come from just a shape thing or a sound thing?
It's just like, well, it's a jazz chord, isn't it? It's like a sharp 5 there, I think.
It's that chord is in Superstition actually.
Yeah. But I just like it because it's just a substitute for a 5 when
It's an augmented chord.
Well, exactly, yeah. Yeah, but if you play that top string as well, wherever you are on the guitar, it's an altered chord of some nature, and I don't really mind, because it's all just like semitones out in it, just to give it that tension.
Dig it, man.
Yeah.
Augmented chords.
Augmented chords.
Very cool, man. That was a rad groove, dude.
Thanks, mate.
Badass. Digging
I'm having a lot
man.
of fun tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, because like I'm just into the whole looping thing. I do a lot of crazy stuff too. I like to play multiple things at the same time too.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like the thing. But
yeah, we talked about that.
I've got your setup is way more streamlined.
Yeah, that's
but
the
I'm going
thing.
analog.
You can start, because I used to bring like a little bass keyboard out. I'd have like 2 saxes and a flute, and I just thought after a while, I'm doing my own head in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I might as well just because I'm doing this 3-4 times a week, and I just want to be able to put it all on one trolley, put it in, load it, play it, and so like. When I play with the band, then I could do my other things, you know what I mean? But trying to cram it all into, I used to bring, mate, do you know what? I used to do this, and I'd bring my 76 key Nord stage piano sometimes as well.
I've seen you play with that.
And after a while, it was just like, what am I doing? So I just saved that for the band, my live sampling stuff for the band, and my keyboards for the band, you know.
Okay.
And then this here, so yeah.
Well, that's actually pretty cool for a solo
I used to
gig.
haul a 88 key Rhodes with the speaker with me every time.
We called it Han Solo.
It was a Han Solo.
That's insanity, that is, mate.
Well,
Mate, I had a 54, and I had to sell it because I literally threw my back out. Because you can only carry one like to the side like that, can't you?
Yeah,
and
well,
it just
we
twists
need
your back
2
out.
people.
Like.
Yeah, well, they have the weird handles, but the big one, the 88's got the big thing and then the amp.
There's no chance of carrying that on your own, is there?
No, but I do. Yeah, it's getting it. Yeah, I need help always getting it off stage.
Nothing like a Rhodes though, man.
Oh,
I missed that thing. It was the baby one. It was lush. It was like this
Yeah, that's
big.
cool. But another band that we were playing with before. We would play with another band, and he had the smaller version, and I would bring the guitar amp to plug that thing into, and it was much easier than me bringing the full Rhodes. And,
Sure.
But I'm going. I'll tell you about it. But I found another one that's another keyboard that actually has the Rhodes sound that's pretty good.
The Korg.
It's a Korg.
Really?
It's got like a preamp on it, and it has a few other organ sounds. Pretty close. Yeah. So I like playing Rhodes. Yeah.
That's another thing that we do here on Theory Thursday is we talk about keyboards.
We talk about everything, really. Anything
Cool.
you do, you know.
All right.
We might even have to talk
This
about.
is not only the T5 Rumble, it's also the running shoe edition.
Running shoe edition. These are my Pharrells, man, and everyone's got them at the moment.
Those are great.
But
Those are so cool.
No one's got this colour, mate. I take my footwear very seriously.
You got any Yeezys?
This is my first pair of New Balance. I used to make fun of these when as a child.
They're nice, they are, mate.
Well, thank you.
You've done well, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. Running is a new thing for me.
Yeah.
So anyhow, that's my selection. I'm really a fan of colors. Jason's got the classic Converse.
Yeah.
However, probably not a good running shoe.
No, these suck. I have some Nikes.
Are these a running shoe?
No, mate. These are for lounging around with a microphone in your hand shoes, like they're rap star shoes. Yeah.
I see. So hence Pharrell.
It's the Pharrell. The Pharrell chain line for Adidas. Yeah.
Adidas.
Wow,
He's designed a load.
he's really getting around because he's also part of a jean company as well.
Oh, mate, he's
G-Star.
killing it. He's killing it.
It used to be about a song, but apparently if you put your name on a jean or a shoe, that song will sound better.
Yeah. So you can look like the music you subscribe to.
There you go.
You know what? I brought home a vitamin water last night. Once in a while I like my vanilla Coke, and I like my what's the vitamin water with the green wrap and the orange liquid? It's like mango something. Anyhow, I bring it home. Christina's like, I'm not going to drink that. 50 Cent owns that company. I was like, so what? I was like, well, have a sip.
It's a bit crazy, isn't it?
Have a sip of drink the Kool-Aid. Anyways, well, again, you know, it's also a funny thing is that we can digress in crazy ways if you like.
We'll just do that anyway.
We're gonna do that
You
anyways.
opening your mouth, it does that way too.
I know. Let's keep it about music. I have a lot of respect for Johnny. I think he deserves the best from us.
No, I think
I'll
so,
talk
too.
about clothes all day long, especially sneakers.
Sneakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you a
Sneakerhead.
shoe guy?
Oh, big
Sneakerhead.
time, mate. Yeah,
That's cool.
Big time. I like a really nice pair of loafers,
Okay.
and I like really expensive sneakers.
Yeah. That's cool.
Digging it, man.
I still have my pair of Doc Marten flat, like low cuts
Yeah.
from
I just got a
when
pair
I was
of
in high
Docs,
school.
actually.
You were wearing
Docs are
some
great.
wicked ones earlier. Those kind of
the
like
big
green
boots.
woven ones.
Oh.
Was it you wearing them,
That
or was
was
it you
me.
got them on?
No, I got
That was me.
That was you, wasn't it?
I took them off because I saw you wearing like more of a sneaker, and
It's
I was
all right,
like,
man. It's all right.
I
That's
wanted,
good.
you know.
I got to see them both.
Solidarity. Yeah.
That's, well, thanks. So we're getting close to
No, we're
the
good.
end. Yeah, we're doing
Yeah,
it.
we're doing a good time. It's going by quick, but
Oh, it's going by sick. Well, you're already jamming, man. Why don't you lay down something thick for us?
Shall I do another one of mine?
Absolutely.
All right. This one's called The Loving Fades.
I'll listen to that one.
Uh-oh.
All right, here we go.
It's getting beyond my reach. Now that the feeling's back, where we were once at peace. Now all my senses are attacked. I thought that I had learned to walk away. Once more my fingers burn as the loving fades. How did you become strange to me? So hard to recognize. Right now I feel like you're right sharing me. My lover's in disguise. Never, 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 never again will I let myself take me by my sense. Whether I should believe a word while you are in there. Oh, it's getting beyond my reach. Now that the feeling's back, where we were once at peace. Now all my senses are attacked. I thought that I had learned to walk away. Once more my fingers burn as the loving fades. It's getting beyond my reach. Now that the feeling's back, where we were once at peace. Now all my senses are attacked. I thought that I had learned to walk away. Once more my fingers burn as the loving fades. As the loving fades. As the loving fades. As the loving fades. All this time I never worked it out. No matter how I tried. But you took me by my heart and head. You pulled me down inside. Lover, 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 can we as the loving fade, as the loving fade, as the loving fade. It can be a marriage, 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 it can be a marriage. Now the feeling's bad.
That was another fantastic musical crescendo there. God darn, your music is awesome. Give me some, baby.
Thank you, mate. Thanks very
That's
much.
so soulful, and I love the element how it's like pop and soul, and then you're hanging out with us, where you bring it to it's rockin', gets to a rock. I kind of
more Latin-y, actually, kind of.
A little what?
Latinish.
It had some Latin vibe.
There was a bit, yeah, it's for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Latin jazz. Talking about horn sections, and Monette, who plays percussion in my band, her band. It's like the only band I'll turn down work so I can go and see her band that night. You know what I mean? They're just amazing. You know what I mean?
What's her band called?
It's just the Monette Marino band. They don't do as many gigs as they should, but they've got some amazing players in there, like John Rekovics on sax and Kevin Cooper on bass, and just like Alan Phillips. Do you know who that guy is?
I don't.
Beast.
We do now.
Beast. Like, he plays everything, but in her band he MDs and plays piano. But man, the Monette Marino band, that's a band to go and see if you can. If you're into like dancing, you're into Latin jazz and percussion and kind of like just a party, So yeah, I'm into that stuff, and I thought I was going to be a jazz sax player. That's what I thought I was going to be. Turns out that I actually wanted to write music that was more in the dance kind of world. Like, I did a lot of playing sax with house DJs for a long time, and I realized that that's actually what turns me on more, is getting people dancing and kind of not trying to be quite so highbrow, although I appreciate that stuff, really appreciate it. I want people dancing, I want them to enjoy it, and I want them to be able to walk away whistling the song.
Sure.
That's what I really like.
Stuck in the head.
Yeah.
And so just a quick question: when did you start playing saxophone?
I started playing sax when I was 11, so.
You don't have to say how
long time.
A while ago?
Long time. Yeah.
What would you say your main influences are as far as music goes? Like
music.
You said Nile Rodgers earlier,
Right.
but
Okay. So, Jamiroquai.
Okay.
There was a band called the James Taylor Quartet back in. Do you know those guys?
I'm familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they were called the James Taylor Quartet, but there was like about 12 of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I call my band the Jonny Tarr Quartet, whether there's 4, 5, or 7 of us. You know what I mean?
25.
So that's a bit
whatever.
of a homage to him. You know.
That's cool.
Bill Withers, Marvin Gaye,
Love that stuff.
Maxwell.
70s soul.
More recently, people like Chromeo.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
kind of really spangly, like glittery dance pop funk. That kind of, you know, a lot.
dance pop
You're wearing his shoes, but Pharrell.
Pharrell, not so much his music. Like I wasn't really a big fan of NERD. Some of the stuff he's done a bit more recently.
More than the early stuff.
Yeah, I like The Weeknd a lot. I like what he's doing. I mean, some of it's a little bit saccharine, but some of his lyrics are really dark.
It's pretty saccharine. You're right.
Really, like some of
It's
his
good.
lyrics, mate, are naughty. Do you know what I mean? Really, and I appreciate that he's like slipped them in under the radar.
Yeah.
So I like him. You know, that kind of thing. Anything, we call it back home, I don't know if you have the term here, we have these things called the MOBO Awards, right? Which means, it stands for Music of Black Origin.
Okay.
And that's, I guess, what you could say from jazz, hip hop, funk, soul, Motown. Those are all the things that I'm into. You know, when that bleeds into pop music for sure. But I'm not really a guitar band, punk, rock. I mean, I like people like the Foo Fighters because it's extremely melodic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm not into noisy music for noisy music's sake.
Yeah.
You know, but like, anything that we might call MOBO, which can, you know, might be a bit of a misappropriation in some people's eyes, but back where I'm from, the kids of my generation are much more into music of black origin than generally the kids of my age from here. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So we're very much more melting pot than here. I did when I moved here. I found that there's a lot more kind of separation. I've noticed, but yeah, that would be my musical influences in a nutshell.
Pretty much my favorites too. most of that stuff, the early '70s funk,
Mate,
a lot of the soul, a lot of the jazz,
a lot of that blue-eyed soul as well, like Hall & Oates and Michael McDonald and people like that.
Some
that
of
I've
my
been
favorite stuff.
doing a lot.
It's the first concert I've ever been to was Hall & Oates.
Mate,
Yeah.
Mine was Iron Maiden.
yes.
Imagine the contrast.
I
That's
was 12.
ironic.
Yeah, you know, that's I always liked Iron Maiden.
That's cool. That just sounds like maybe if you
Power
were
Slave. I guess
you
12.
saw that flipping tour? Good for you, Jason.
My uncle Marty, I think I was 12.
Marty took you to the Power Slave tour?
10 or 12. I was young,
That's
man.
great.
I freaked out when the thing came down.
Very melodic.
Power Slave, was that an Iron Maiden tour?
It was
Power
an album.
Slave.
And an album.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Same difference.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
But no, I do enjoy every kind of soulful, anything that's really interesting for me, like on the bass, is always that kind of music. The
Yeah,
soul,
right.
funk,
Because it's a counter melody, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know, there's stuff happening, and also
It's the time,
I really
it's the
think
feel.
that it really emphasizes a lot of what the rhythm section are doing. Whereas in more maybe singer-songwritery stuff or country music and stuff, it's more just whole notes and just kind of like.
Yeah,
But there's dancing around on the bass line, and whenever I write a song, I put a beat down and I always write the bass line first.
Yeah,
Always write the bass line first.
Wow.
Good sense.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of dichotomy of writing and breaking down, Mr. Jonny Tarr also can score music. He can write the treble clef and the bass clef and all the alto and all that stuff. That's very impressive, dude.
It's good for your brain, like, because I still write out my horn parts and other parts by pencil and paper. I don't do it on an app or a program or anything. And it's good. It's really like, you know, it's in a way it's like playing chess a little bit, because you're thinking, like, if you're writing for trombone, alto saxophone and trumpet, you're writing in two different clefs and 3 different key signatures, and kind of like, so it's a lot of, I just still enjoy to do that because that's where I came from a jazz background, and I still like to be able to write horn parts for my. So whenever we go out as a bigger band, the horn parts are already written. They're there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't expect someone to come in and go, oh, which part am I playing? It's like that one,
Yeah.
this one here.
That's
yeah,
right
exactly.
here,
Yeah.
Very Zappa esque.
Well, it's just any
You know,
real
well,
musician.
here's the thing.
It's any real musician.
He
will write that.
experiences his music by himself looping, the duet, the trio, the quin, the quartet, or the quartet, the quin, and then he also does like 8 or 9 piece with the multiple horns. For him to play and to hear your own music and all of those different permutations, very, very exciting.
It is exciting, and you know, a lot of things that are born in music, in my experience, have been through necessity, or like you need to put a 3-piece together for this because they only want a 3-piece. So I've had to go like, okay, right. So how do I do that? So when I do solo, obviously like this duo, I'll either have a bass player with me, which frees me up to do a lot more stuff on the loop pedal, or a percussionist, which takes some of the monotony out of the beatbox. You know what I mean? Because she's breaking stuff up, and you know, that really helps there. And then trio would be those two. Then when it moves to quartet, I get on piano. You know, so it's actually thought out for, right, they needed that for that wedding, so that's why I put that bit together. And over the last 2 years, I've worked really hard on making myself available in any format for any size place with any amount of musicians. So that's how I've kept myself in that amount of work.
Above and beyond.
Yeah,
That's busting your ass.
I'm stubborn. I'm stubborn. I refuse to do anything else but music for my living. Whereas I was telling Mike earlier, a lot of my friends back home who are 5-10 times the musician I am on their instrument, they have to either subsidize their income with teaching, or they've got a full-on separate job. You know what I mean? And it's like, for me, that's a crime, because they're too good for that.
We need to take a page out of his book.
Yeah, I'm stubborn. I just said, look, I did a degree, I did a degree in music, not so I could go and work doing something else. You know, I spent time doing that, so I'm going to make this happen. And there were times, especially early on when I moved here, where I was doing gigs for free. I was doing 4-hour gigs for $50, and I was just like really, really, really like, I'll do anything. Do you know what I mean?
That's a crime.
But it's a crime what restaurateurs think they can get away with, mate. Isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, it really is.
Your determination is an inspiration. It really is.
Perseverance yield the harvest.
It's a big deal, man.
Sink or swim, mate. Sink or swim.
I gotta tell you.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Hanging with you has been wonderful.
Anytime you want to come back on,
sure. Well, I've had a great time. This setup you've got going on here is just a lot of fun. It's really relaxed. It's really kind of like generates a lot of kind of positivity and
you're hanging out.
like relaxation, because you know, being live on the internet, like every note I do right, it's not. I didn't feel any of that, so I'd be happy to come back anytime.
Yeah, you
never
really notice you're online sometimes when you're actually going live.
Yeah, if our conversation's honest and compelling enough, we forget that you're all there.
Sometimes, especially tonight, you know.
I know you honestly,
I recommend this experience to any other songwriters, musicians who want to come and play. So do come and ask to be a part of this, because it's been nice, man. I've enjoyed myself.
Cool. Very, very lovely.
So, any gigs coming up you want to plug? Anything else?
Actually,
album's out, you know.
The quartet, my band, full band, will be playing at 7 Grand in North Park.
Love that place.
On Saturday night from 10:15.
Saturday night.
Yeah, that'll be a good show, because the band, we did Park and Rec last Friday, and the band's on fire at the moment. I've got to say hi to Miles and Matt Clomenzer and Monette Marino on percussion, and Ken Dow, who is just an absolute monster on bass.
Yeah, he's great.
And they're making the band really fire at the moment. So thank you guys, and I'll see you on Saturday at 7 Grand for hopefully another smashing gig.
That's excellent. Both of these venues are very close to my house.
Yeah.
I have no excuse. I actually love the food over at Park and Rec.
Right. It's a good place, man. I really like that spot.
And 7 Grand, they make a fantastic old fashioned.
Right. Well, they bloody should. They're a whiskey bar, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to keep that in mind this weekend.
Mate, come on out. We're only doing, I think, 2 45-minute sets, which means we can basically pack it with all our bangers. Do you know what I mean? It's just going to be a laugh. And what we did at Park and Rec was, we're doing a lot of, because I come from quite a DJ culture, we do a lot of like segueing tunes, like, so it's just like full on.
That'd be rad to watch.
Yeah, it's.
What time
are you busy?
We're
Saturday?
playing at 10:15.
I might be able to make it. I got a gig.
You got a gig Saturday?
Yeah, I'm playing a Helix. But I'll try to make it. We're going early though.
That's exciting. Dave,
Plan it starting
why
at
don't
6.
you
so I
come
might
over
be able to
here
make it down.
on Saturday?
Come to 7
'Cause I
grand.
Me and the
Right.
girls will take an Uber.
It's
We'll go
gonna be,
watch
it's
Johnny.
gonna be, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be really good fun. Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah. But
Well, we're at the end of our program. I
guys want
got.
to figure something out to do at the end, and then we'll.
I
close
think
out the
he's
show.
ready to go.
He's always ready to go. He's got him.
He's waiting on you.
He's Johnny on the spot.
He's
Yeah.
Johnny on the spot, baby.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know who I am. I'm MikeRuggirello. I'm your host of your show. Jason's got some more words for you on behalf of Mr. Jonny Tarr, yeah?
Well, I'm just saying, yeah, it was a pleasure having you, Johnny. A big fan since I saw you the first
Well,
time.
thank you very much.
And you're great. You're a super nice guy. Really appreciate you coming in, and I look forward to having you back on again.
Well,
for sure.
absolutely. It's been a pleasure, and I can't wait to come back again.
You know, what string gauge do you use?
I've absolutely no idea. I don't
Probably
know
10s
things.
or 11s.
I
Mike.
don't
What
know
do you
things
got?
like that. I use acoustic strings on this
Yeah.
though.
Well,
yeah.
Lights.
Lights.
That's what
Well,
I
hey,
know.
you know what?
I got you covered.
We got you covered.
Oh, yeah?
We have some Theory Thursday.
So yeah, what's the is it?
It's the
your
Kurt-
name?
Kurt
the
Mangan strings, yeah.
Kurt
well,
Mangan.
it's our
Theory
name.
Thursday.
Theory,
Theory
we
Thursday.
are Theory Thursday.
So they're the Theory Thursday signature strings.
Yeah.
Signature
Nice.
strings. We'll get you some.
Yeah.
I shall play no other
And we,
from
and
this
we
day
have-
forth.
Awesome. Great. Yeah. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It's been a great show tonight. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
One more
Yeah,
time,
man.
I'm going to
You're
hit
awesome,
those
dude.
sponsors. Thank you to Taylor Guitars for this V-Class T5 Rumble we had today. Also, Singular Sound Beat Buddy, Kurt Mangan Strings, Mad Hatter Guitar Products, Iconic Guitars, Guitar Tune-Up San Diego, and Mr. Cthulhu in Chief, SWR Video Productions, Mr. Dave Wright. I'm Jace Thomas. That's MikeRuggirello and Ruggirello. Sorry, had a few beers. And Mr. Jonny Tarr.
I thought you said it pretty good the first time.
Yeah, I went with a wello instead of rello.
A Wooja-Wewo.
It's like a Rabo.
Strike him, Centurion.
Yeah! I don't
So-
mind.
So yeah, TheoryThursday.com. Sign up to one of our Patreons. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching.
Would you like the lights on or off, Johnny?
Oh, they're gonna have to be off for this
Do it
one.
with the lights off.
Take care of it, Jason. What you
My,
got, babe?
All right.
Happened the moment you were revealed, 'cause you were a dream that just could not have been a fantasy real. You gave me this beating, baby, this feeling inside. You made me feel good, love, feel nice, give me paradise. So shouldn't I realize stalkers.